Hey everyone, so it's that time of year again. Remember last year when you took down that string of lights that stopped working halfway through the season? You just tossed it back into your Christmas bin and said to yourself, I'll deal with this later. Well, guess what? Past you is laughing at current you right now, but don't worry, I can help you get sweet revenge on that bastard. Plus, the good news is, you only need one specialty tool, and it's less than 10 bucks at Harbor Freight. This deathstick right here, also known as a non-contact voltage tester. Why is it called that? Because I can do this with it. That tells me that this socket's live, and I probably shouldn't stick my tongue inside of it. However, remember how I call this thing a deathstick? That's the actual nickname for these things. So don't only be using this thing to check if a wire or a socket's live. Always double check using a good multimeter afterwards. These things are known to fail or to give wonky readings in the right or wrong circumstances. Here's one right here that's failed in a very peculiar way. Notice here, I've got to get right up to that wire to check if it's live. Now this one used to do the same thing up until about a year ago. Now watch this. This thing apparently has super range right now, which makes it extremely difficult if you're trying to see which one out of a bundle of wires is live, but great for checking if anything in a bundle of wires is live, I guess, so not entirely useless. And this doesn't mean that all of these things are going to fail in this same way. Yours may just fail and end up lying to you that a wire is safe, when in fact it's not. So again, always use a multimeter to double check. And with that out of the way, how does this thing actually work, and how is it going to help you fix your Christmas lights? I'll try to make this quick, but jump to here if you want to skip all the theory behind this and just want to fix your dang lights. So what does this thing actually do? All it's doing is detecting the electromagnetic field that the hot wire puts out. What's a hot wire, you ask? Here's a very quick and high-level overview of AC voltage. Your wall socket has 3 prongs: hot, neutral, ground. We're not going to worry about the ground prong right now because that only comes into play if something bad happens. Plus, almost all Christmas lights don't use it. The hot wire is what's sending the electricity to whatever's plugged in. This lamp in this case goes through the bulb, back through this wire, and back into the wall, into the neutral terminal right there. Now the ground terminal, easy enough to remember, it's just that one right there. But if you keep forgetting which of these two is hot, just remember, electrical standards, while the bureaucracy can be a nightmare, they do try to keep you safe. So the smaller of these two, the one that's a little bit harder to stick a butter knife into, that's going to be the dangerous one. So back to this basic circuit right here. Got electricity flowing here, going through the filament of the lamp, back out to neutral, completes the circuit, and the lamp lights up. If we add some more bulbs, congratulations, we've just created a light string. Now, if we were to smash this bulb right here, so we've destroyed the ability for electricity to travel through this bulb. That means electricity can no longer complete the circuit. It gets stopped right here, and these 2 bulbs do not light up. And in case you're wondering, if we smash that one, that doesn't mean that this one lights up and that one doesn't. The circuit still needs to be complete. Electricity wants to get back to the point where it started. And that's why your Christmas lights stop working. Also, if you got one of these lights where you can chain another light string to the end of it, you might notice that, we've got 2 wires coming in here. Then all of a sudden, it's 3 wires here, and no, that's not a ground wire, as you can probably tell from the lack of a ground prong on this. But to understand what's going on here, here's some more quick background on electricity. Electricity is lazy. It likes to take the easiest path it can to get back to where it started. If we add a wire right here to this circuit, all of a sudden the electricity realizes, hey, I don't have to do a bunch of work at this light bulb and head back home. I can just go here, take this little shortcut, and go home, and this bulb will not light up, and incidentally this will trip your circuit breaker. Don't ever do something like this. And also, in case you're wondering, let's take that wire out, and let's say we did something like this. that is technically a longer road for the electricity to get back home, but it's still less work than what's required to get that light bulb to light up. So in this configuration, the light bulb will not work. Same thing if we do this. If we pop a wire right here, the electricity has to flow through the first light bulb, then realizes it's got a shortcut right here, goes back home, and that light bulb is not going to do anything. So here's a representation of this. That's this end, and this is this end right here. And realize that these two wires do not make contact inside this plug. This is not a closed circuit inside here. So same thing here. These two wires do not touch. The only time that would touch is if you do something stupid like sticking a paper clip in here. So as it stands, this circuit right here will not work. This is not a closed circuit. So how do we get this to actually work? That's where the third wire comes in. It essentially splits the circuit into two. So we've got one circuit going here to light the bulbs, and you have another one going to the socket at the other end, which you can plug a second string into. I know this looks really weird, but that's essentially what something like this is doing. You can plug a lamp in here, turn off that lamp, and this socket will still work. Also, you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, that's 4 wires, not 3. What's going on here? Well, because these 2 wires are going to the same place, we can kind of yank this wire out from right there. So this goes away, and that can be connected right there. It's essentially touching the same thing. So now we've got 3 wires going here. And actually same thing for this one here. You can shorten this one to right there to save on manufacturing costs, which is pretty much what they did with this one here. You got 2 wires coming here, and then 3 starting at that point. In any case, that was just a long-winded way of me saying don't worry about the strange third wire. And incidentally, let's assume that this was like that for no good reason. This type of circuit is what you call a series circuit. If you smash one component of the circuit, the rest of the circuit's going to fail. However, there is one type of circuit that doesn't care if you smash bulbs. This one's known as a parallel circuit. If you smash that bulb right there, there's still continuity through this bulb, and if you smash that one, this one still works. You still have a complete circuit here. Anyways, this video is getting pretty long, and I'm sure that 99% of you just want me to stop rambling and show you how to fix your lights. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do another video elaborating more on basic circuits. So back to the deathstick and a circuit here with a smash bulb right in the middle. So the hot wire is here and the electricity is flowing that way, which is technically not because it's AC, but like I said, high level, really high level explanation on this. So if I was to use this right here, it would beep, because electricity does get that far. Same thing here, it would beep here, and same thing here. However, because this is broken inside, the electricity does not go past that bulb, and if I was to test at any point past this bulb, this would not beep. So what that tells me is electricity got to this bulb, didn't go past that bulb, so this bulb is more than likely bad. Also, a slight detour to the detour here. The really simplified reason that an incandescent bulb puts out light is because the filament wire that you can see inside this picture here is very bad at conducting large amounts of electricity. You've got the electricity starting off in a 10-lane highway in this wire, then it hits this light bulb, and suddenly it's on a 1-track dirt road. All that energy flowing through the wire can't flow at the same rate through this bulb, and that energy's got to go somewhere, so it becomes heat and light energy coming out of there. Now, the next couple of seconds are for the guys who skipped ahead. Don't worry, I haven't gone crazy. So to get to the root of the matter, we really need to contemplate and understand this. What is a man? Is he really just a miserable little pile of secrets? After all, it was by the hands of man that Dracula was once again given flesh, men who wished to pay him tribute. But enough of that, let's have at these lights. First, do a quick visual check on the light string. Make sure no wild rabbits have been nibbling on it and left any exposed wires. And make sure you don't have any blatantly missing bulbs. You don't want to be accidentally sticking your finger in an empty life socket or worse. And I'm not just filling time by saying this. This is one of our hangy light thingies that got damaged by the wind last year, and I was dumb and plugged this thing in twice to test it out before spotting this. So if I had touched that, that wouldn't have been a good day. And by the way, if you don't know how to solder or work with electricity, get someone else to fix this for you. Your life's worth a little bit more than some pretty lights. Once you're sure it's safe, go ahead, plug it in. And if it magically starts working, jiggle it around to see if you've got a broken internal wire or something. And if it still works after that, then offer up a goat in sacrifice and move on with your life. Here's a brand new string of lights that I'm going to cripple. And just to make it easier to demonstrate, we're going to pretend that this second half doesn't exist. So I've marked the bad light right here. That's the bulb from it. And like I said, ignore this. Remember the whole parallel circuit thing. Isolate the two wires coming off the plug and test them individually with this. So that looks like it's neutral. And that one's hot. So there is power getting into the string, which we can obviously tell, but like I said, ignore that. And this is working. If this thing gives you no beeps, either the wall socket, the plug, or your deathstick's bad. So unplug this and then check your wall socket with this. If this doesn't beep, then your wall socket's bad. If it beeps, then both of these are probably good. And if you still get nothing on either of these two wires, then you probably have a broken internal wire somewhere around the plug. And if that's the case, and as much as it pains me to say this, throw away the light string or give them to a handyman friend to fix. If you need me to show you how to fix this, then you should not be doing this. So these two wires coming in, one of them goes to the first bulb, then chains its way along all the other bulbs. This other wire just kind of goes straight to the end. And ideally, you want the hot wire to be this one, the one chained along the bulbs. Doesn't really matter in the long run, but it does make it a little bit easier to visualize in your head. And we can verify if that's the hot wire by touching right here. And this one, yep, it's dead. And of course, if we flip the plug around, this one is now the hot wire and this one's dead. So we'll flip that plug back and now we've got the hot wire running through the bulbs again. Now what we're going to do is just pick a point that's approximately halfway through this light string, so right here, and test right there, and we can see electricity does not get this far in the line. So there's at least one broken bulb in this segment right here. And remember, I'm not sure where the broken bulb is. So now I'm going to pick a point halfway between this bad length right here. Let's pick this. And we have power passing through there. So we've isolated the problem to this length right here. So let's go here and nothing. So problem is somewhere here, and you guys kind of understand how this is going, so I'm not going to bore you with the rest of it. But yeah, halfway there, go halfway here again, then eventually you're going to zero in on the bad bulb. So electricity is getting there but not getting to the next bulb in line. So we know this one's the culprit. And the good news is, it doesn't matter if you have a giant light string. By halving the distance each time, the most you might have to do is maybe 10 or 12 measurements. And of course, remember to plug your lights out before you change the bulb. Remember, these things, they look pretty, but they can still kill you. So we'll pop our new bulb in here, plug this back in, and we're good. Also, if you have a weird lawn ornament thingy or something with like a spider web full of wires embedded in it, you can still use this to find where the power stops flowing, but you may have to do a little bit of poking around, as the wires might be a little difficult to follow, but this is a lot quicker than changing each and every bulb in sequence to try and pinpoint the bad one. In any case, hope I helped you. Thanks for watching and take care.